Last night. Tae was on the bed reading a book. KooK came in after finishing his work. KooK. Taehyung, can you wake me up early tomorrow morning? Tae. Sure, Jungkook. He nodded with a smile. Next morning. It was early in the morning. Tae woke up from his sleep and looked beside him to see his husband sleeping peacefully like a baby. Tae felt like it was only then he could see his husband so calm, with no frown on his face. John Taehyung was 23 years old, married to John Jungkook, who is 27 years old. Jungkook is the CEO of John's corporation. They had an arranged marriage a month ago. Their parents were best friends and Taekook knew each other before marriage. They had met twice or thrice at family gatherings or events. When their parents asked them about the marriage, they had no other choice but to say yes because they had been single since the day they were born. So they decided to marry. Even though they sleep in the same room, they have never kissed or done anything intimate. It was just Tae who spoke, and KooK responded with single words. Now coming back to the fanfic. Tae went to the washroom when he felt cramps in his lower abdomen and checked himself. He quickly took a bath and went to wake up Jungkook hurriedly because KooK told him to wake him up early, and it was already 7:30 a.m. Tae. KooK, Jungkook. KooK squirmed in his place. Tae. KooK, can you please wake up? It is 7:30 now. KooK groaned and woke up after hearing the time. KooK. What? Tae. It's 7:30. KooK. Taehyung, I already told you to wake me up early. He said in a cold tone. Tae. I'm sorry, he said. KooK got up and left from there, leaving Tae standing for a good few seconds. Tae blinked his eyes at the tone KooK used, as well as from the cramps he was having. KooK quickly did his morning routine and went to the dining room for breakfast. Tae. KooK, can you please wait for a few more minutes? The breakfast is getting ready. I will serve you. KooK. Make it fast, Taehyung. Tae. Yeah, he said, giving a small smile. KooK went to the office room to get his files while Tae continued to cook. But he flinched when KooK shouted from the office room. KooK. Taehyung, Taehyung. Tae quickly turned off the stove and went toward the source of the voice. Tae. What happened, Jungkook? KooK. Where is my file, the one I kept on the couch? Tae. Oh, the blue one. KooK. Yes. Tae. I kept it near your desk, he said while bringing the file to KooK. KooK. Can you do me a favor? He said in his usual cold tone. Tae. What, KooK? He said with a soft smile. KooK. Don't touch my things for my sake, he said while going out, slamming the door hard. Tae nodded to himself and went behind him, feeling tired to even overthink about his statement, and served KooK while he sat there. KooK was eating in silence and Tae served himself and started to eat. When KooK took a second bite, he got a call and he just left from there without finishing the food, which made Tae feel bad and sad because he was feeling so much pain, and KooK left without even eating half of it. Tae finished his food, washed his plate along with KooK's, and went to the bedroom to sleep, taking some heating pads. With KooK, he was having a very important meeting today with a client, which might bring in a lot of profit if they collaborated. So he had been working hard for it for months, and his hard work paid off when they signed the contract. It was afternoon when the meeting was done and the procedures were being completed. KooK was waiting for his lunchbox because Tae had always been sending him one since their marriage. And now he was feeling bad for shouting at him not once, but twice, and also for not finishing the food Tae had made for him. After a few more minutes, his box arrived with a little note. Sorry if you were waiting for the lunch. Yung. KooK opened the box with a smile and ate it because he had been feeling so hungry as he did not eat in the morning. With Tae. After completing his breakfast, Tae overslept and woke up late from his nap. He quickly made lunch for KooK. At night, KooK came home faster than he usually did. Tae, who had been munching on chips while watching a drama, looked at the door when it opened. Tae. Welcome home, KooK, he said with a smile which didn't quite reach his eyes. KooK nodded his head and went to freshen up while Tae reheated the food. They sat at the dining table for dinner and started eating in silence. Usually, Tae used to ask KooK how his day was, and he would briefly respond, ending with fine. He looked at Tae, who was looking pale, not smiling, not speaking, and not asking him about his day. KooK oddly felt weird about it. Tae suddenly coughed. KooK was quick to give him water while Tae mumbled a small thank you after drinking. Tae, oh! KooK finally breathed out, feeling relaxed as Tae spoke a word. Tae, I made you your favorite. KooK looked at the disappearing figure moving toward the kitchen, but what caught his attention was the red stain on Tae's pants. Then it clicked, Tae was on his period. He was paler than any other time, smiling less, speaking less, moving less, and KooK started to feel guilty for the entire day. He had shouted at him twice and didn't eat the breakfast that Tae made while in pain. Tae came back to the table with a bowl. KooK was quick to take it and served Tae first, then served himself. Tae was shocked because KooK had never served him in the past month since their marriage. They had always been like roommates, only speaking when needed. But Tae usually spoke to him, trying to give their marriage a chance. As the days passed, Tae started to have some feelings towards KooK, though he is cold and distant. Tae softly smiled at him and started to eat his food. KooK was waiting for Tae to finish eating so he could mention the stain, not wanting Tae to feel uncomfortable and leave the food, as he always ate in small portions. Tae sensed KooK wanted to say something. Tae, you wanna say something? Yes. KooK, you done eating? Tae, yeah. You want something? KooK, no. Actually, you have stains on your pants. He said softly, and it was one of the few times KooK spoke that gently to Tae. Tae looked at him panicked. KooK, nothing to worry, sweetheart. It's common, he said, getting up and taking the plates to the kitchen. While Tae was in a state of a few shocks. 1. KooK spoke softly to him. 2. He saw his period stains. 3. He freaking called him sweetheart. Even though his cramps were making it hard for him, he still felt something twist in his belly. Tae came back to his senses when KooK lifted him in a bridal way and took him to the kitchen for hand wash. Tae, I can walk, KooK, he said with an embarrassed smile. KooK, I know, bear. Come on, wash your hands, he said softly. Tae just looked at him, making KooK smile at him and gesture toward the tap. Tae washed his hands, and KooK proceeded to walk toward their bedroom. KooK, get changed, sweetheart, he said, making Tae stand in the washroom and went to bring him new pants. Tae nodded, washed himself and came out, but didn't find KooK, so he walked toward the bed and slept, keeping a heating pad on his abdomen. KooK, sweetheart, he called when he saw Tae sleeping, curled up in the blanket like a burrito. Tae peeked out from the blanket and nodded, making KooK coo at him. KooK, I made you this ginger tea, drink it. This will reduce the cramps, bear, he said while Tae nodded and sat on the bed. After completing the tea, Tae smiled at KooK and thanked him. KooK kept the glass aside and switched off the light, turned on the night lamp, and lay down beside Tae. KooK took Tae in his arms and pulled him closer to his chest. Tae was stiff for a few seconds. It was their first time knowingly touching each other. KooK, I'm sorry, sweetheart, he said. Tae looked at him with a confused frown. KooK, for shouting at you and also not finishing the breakfast today. Tae, it's totally fine, KooK, he said with a smile. KooK, I'm sorry for being mean and cold toward you. Tae, you did your best, KooK. Don't feel sorry. Those words, soft and forgiving, gave Jungkook's heart a quick beat. He hadn't realized how much he craved such warmth until now. Taehyung had given him patience, kindness, and now understanding. KooK, still I could have tried harder to treat you better. Tae placed his hand gently over Jungkook's on his waist. Tae, then let's try from now on together. Jungkook nodded, tightening his hold around Taehyung, this time with a quiet certainty. KooK, I love you. He knew it was sudden, But he had always fallen for Tae with every single thing he did, like a whipped person. He liked the way Tae smiled, frowned, walked, talked, cooked, his kind soul and pure heart. Tae, I love you too. Tae mumbled against his chest and hid himself more into KooK's chest, making him chuckle. The vibrations ran through Tae's body too, sending shivers down his spine. KooK pecked Tae's forehead and brought him even closer if possible. Their marriage, once a quiet arrangement, was now slowly blooming into something real, something soft, something lasting. Maybe love wasn't born at the altar that day a month ago, but it was surely being written now, in quiet gestures and whispered sweethearts.
Thank you so much for reading. If you have any thoughts, suggestions, or feedback, or if you'd like to share ideas for future stories or videos, feel free to drop them. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the story, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Leave a like and stay tuned for more. Your support means the world.